Imagine this one moment. You are breathing. Your heart is pounding in your chest. Rhythmic, steady drumbeat of life. You feel the warmth of the sun, the touch of a cool breeze, the intricate disparity of thoughts waving in your mind. And the next, everything goes silent. That sound, the beat, the sensation, that very sense of self. Where does it go? Does it simply vanish? A flame snuffed out in the infinite dark? Or is there something more? The question, the very oldest question, has haunted every civilization, every culture, and every human being since the dawn of time. It's the ultimate mystery, a blank space on the map of human understanding that both terrifies us and fuels our deepest curiosity. While science offers one answer and spirituality another, the space where they converge hold the most compelling and most unsettling clues. Today, we are going on a journey to explore that space. The scientific verdict, the final red line. From a purely scientific standpoint, that is the absolute and complete satiety cessation of all biological function. It's a series of cascading failure, a sudden and irreversible, irreversible shutdown. Your heart stops pumping blood, and with that, the flow of oxygen of the brain ceases. The lack of oxygen triggered a rapid, irreversible decline within it more than 10 minutes. Neuron, the very building blocks of our consciousness and memories, begin the Paris, unable to survive without a consistent supply of energy. From the perspective, the mind, the personality, the you know, it's all gone. It's ultimate red line, a biological end of the story. But the story, as we have come to find, doesn't always end there. Actually, what's happened really after it? The airy anomaly, near death experience. Here is where things get truly strange. Over the past few decades, advancements in medicine have allowed doctors to bring thousands of people back from what was once considered the point of no return. These individuals were declared clinically dead, with no measurable brain activity and no sign of life. Yet, they returned with astonishingly similar, almost identical stories. They speak of floating above their bodies. What? Watching the frantic medical drums try to revive them. They can often describe the exact conversation and procedure than were talking about place, detail they couldn't possibly have known from their physical position. One patient who was clinically dead for over 3 minutes was later able to accurately recall a conversation that took place in a hallway outside his operating room. How is it possible? If his brain was completely off? They also describe moving through a dark tunnel toward a brilliant, peaceful light. This light is not just a source of illumination, it's a profound, loving presence that seems to be waiting of them. And many recall meeting loved ones, parents, grandparents, friends who had already passed away, who would often communicate with them telepathically, urging them to go back. Science tried to explain these near-death experiences as much as chemical surge, the brain's last ditch effort to create vivid, dreamlike states as it starves of oxygen. Is it suggested that the brain under extreme stress there is a flood of endorphin and their other chemical, creating these powerful emotional experiences. But If they are just hallucination, why are the stories so consistent? Why do people from different culture, different ages, and the different belief all report saying the same things? What what is the reason behind it? Did you haven't tried to console it, or we just seeing a trick of mind? Or is it an experience that often happens outside of it? The spiritual perspective. Across the world's spiritual traditional death is not the end of, but it's a new beginning. It's a not a wall you hit, but a doorway you walk through. For instance, in Hinduism, the soul or Atma is considered eternal and the body a temporary vessel, the perish. The soul simply moves on, reincarnating into a new life shaped by the balance of good and bad deeds from the past, a concept known as karma. The cycle of death and rebirth continues until the soul achieves moksha or liberation from the cycle. In Christianity, that is seen as transition of our soul. For the faithful, it's a journey to an afterlife is heaven, where the soul leaves the earthly body to be with God. Buddhism share there the concept of rebirth, so it's different from the Hindu view. It is that life is a cycle of suffering, and the ultimate goal is break free from this cycle through enlightenment or nirvana. The soul of consciousness is reborn repeatedly until it achieves this state. Ancient Tibetan teaching describe death is remarkable detail, not a sudden end, but as a multi-stage journey of consciousness. They refer to it a bardo, a transitional state between death and rebirth. From them, death is not a destination but a path. To billions of people across the planet, death is a profound and meaningful passage, not a final stop. It is a journey that ancestors have prepared for the spoken of millennia. But what is just isn't just a matter of faith, the intercession. Now, for the most compelling and most unsettled part, consider the fundamental law of physics. They tell us that energy can never be destroyed. It can be changed form. Is it a foundable principle of the universe? Could consciousness, the very essence of who are, work the same way? Would it be form of energy that upon the death of body simply transform rather than disappear? This isn't a philosophical question. Researchers are actively exploring this. For example, Dr. Sam Parnia, as a leading researcher in the field of consciousness and near-death experience, has conducted groundbreaking studies on the patient who were brought back from cardiac arrest. His work has shown that some patients retained a form of awareness minutes after their brain activity had completely ceased. In one shocking case, the patient was able to recall conversation and events that occurred in the room while his brain was off. If science is beginning to find these tiny cracks in its understanding, if it's struggling to explain phenomena that directly contradict its established laws, it's possible master have known for thousands of years. A spiritual catches. It suggests that there is deeper truth, a grateful reality that our current scientific tools are not yet equipped to measure it. So, what do you believe? The ultimate mystery and your answer. What truly happens after death? Science says the body ends, spiritually says the continues. The soul continues. And maybe, just maybe, both are right. The physical world of body comes to an end while the non-physical essence who we are continue on. The two many who may not be in conflict at all. The body is the vessel and the soul is passenger. The question of what happened after that does more than just prepare